Leo, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of information on what the difference of your sun, moon sign, and ascendant or rising sign actually means, because I realize that a lot of you guys don't know the difference. You just wanted to know a little bit, just the basic knowledge on what the difference between all three of those are and how they actually influence your life via astrology. So I'm going to be looking down at my old grimoire, how do you say it? I have tons of them, and this is one of my very first ones that I started whenever I was really getting into witchery, just energy manipulation, and then eventually astrology and tarot and all that good stuff. So I thought it would be really cool for me to go through this and basically just explain to you guys what the difference is, because it's really simple. I like to take notes that are super easy to understand. Okay, so your sun sign, this is the sign that we all know for the most part. Even if you're not into astrology, you basically know what you are. So this is your Pisces, your Aries, your Sag, your Leos. It's however you are shown to the world. It's who you are. It's how you as a persona, is presented. There's one thing that you have to understand. Your sun sign is who you are once someone gets to know you. So this is the person that your friends see. This is the person that maybe like places that you go frequently. Those are like the places where people might see your actual sun sign. So you can't get it confused with rising sign, and I'll get to that in a second, okay? So right here I put your sun sign reflects your personality. It also reflects where the sun was positioned during your birth. So wherever the sun was actually positioned, as far as the zodiac sign, so whatever month you were born in, that determines what your sun sign is. That's why it's like so easy to figure that out. It's literally what your birthday is. So if you were born in August or July, you're going to be a Leo. If you're born in November or December, you're going to be a Sag, and so on and so forth, okay? So based on where you are aligned in the months of the calendar, that's going to determine what your sun sign zodiac sign is. Your sun sign has more to do with how you are, like your ego, like your humanistic traits, mostly with like your masculine traits. Usually it comes off more masculine. This is like the side that you show. This is the side that gets more, excuse me. This is the sign that is presented to people once they get to know who you are. But it's not necessarily your deepest self. It's just who you present yourself as to everyone else. Then we have the moon sign. So the moon sign is very different, because your moon sign is who you are like internally. This is like who you are at your, I want to say your core, or like your kind of like your conscious, like this is who you are. The moon signs reflect your inner emotions. Okay, so that's why I say your moon sign is going to reflect the inner you. This is a side that not everybody gets to see. People who really see your moon sign are the people who deal with you emotionally. So that's going to be your friends that you're really close with, your family members that you grew up with, maybe lovers that you have. People who you're emotionally connected to will see this side of you, and those will be the only people who see this. So if you're not a person who emotionally connects, if you're a person who is very introverted and you don't let anyone in, the only people who will probably know your moon sign self is the people you grew up with inside of the household, and then maybe just family members that you connected with. The moon sign is determined by the moon, obviously. The moon changes every 2 to 2.5 days. So the moon sign really is based on what day you were born and what time. Positioning is very important to be able to get your moon sign and your rising sign accurate, okay? So you really do want to know the exact time that you were born to really understand your moon sign. So your moon sign represents more of the feminine traits, because feminine is dealing with emotion. So this is like how you emotionally react to things. So me as a Leo sun sign, I may be more, and I have a lot of planets in Leo. I have like Mars, Mercury, like a whole bunch. So the way I react to things normally, or if I'm fighting, it may be a very Leo way. But if I'm emotionally hurt, I'm going to react as a Virgo. So I may be a little bit more detailed in how I get someone back, or I may be a little bit more communicative than other people, because Virgos, they're ruled by Mercury. So I may be a little bit more able to communicate what I'm feeling, but at the same time, I may not go to you to tell you how I'm feeling, because Virgos are very, you know what I'm saying? So that's where you get to see how you really are. Your sun sign does not tell who you are. Your sun sign shows who you show people, and how you immediately react to things just based on ego. But your moon sign is really going to show how you deal with things internally. It's going to show how you deal with maybe your home life, the people that you are emotionally connected to or not connected to. It really does affect how you deal with emotional things. So your moon sign is very important to understand just things going on in your life. And that's another reason why a lot of you guys look at your sun sign tarot readings to get like all this information. But you have to understand, if you go and you look through where your placements are in your chart, it's a lot easier to have accurate readings if you're watching the right sign for a particular situation in your life. So if you are having love issues, your sun sign is not what you need to be watching. You need to be watching your moon sign So for me, I watch Virgo stuff a lot whenever I'm having love issues or if I want to see what's going on, because that's my moon sign. So that's how I'm reacting. But you also have to be very kind of know how to interpret what you're hearing and know how to relate it to your situation. That's also another way that you will have decent, accurate readings. It all comes down to being accurate with yourself first, okay? And so then lastly, we have the ascendant sign, your rising sign. So this is going to be how you are, like this is literally who you are. This is the box that people see whenever they first meet you. This is how you first come off to people. This is the raw you. This is like who you are at your soul, if you ask me. This sign has a lot to do with how your life will play out, because this is who you become. This is who you ascend to. So depending on what your rising sign is, that's, you know, the traits that you're going to have, and you might have a little bit more of those traits rather than your sun sign or your moon sign. So it's really important to see what planets are placed where, and also just, you know, what you are, because a lot of people don't even know what their moon sign or their rising sign is, and those play a huge part, if not more, in my opinion. Your ascendant sign will always be in the first house of your natal chart. So your rising sign is literally where your chart begins. So that's where, for a lot of people, their ascendant sign is who they are. It's who they eventually, like, they play out in that sign. So a lot of people, they're like, well,
I'm a Pisces. It's not how I act. I don't act like a Pisces.
You may come off as a different person because you may have stronger placements in your rising sign house, or the sign itself may just be more dominant and more towards what you are trying to accomplish as a person in your soul's journey. So you may be more directed towards that path. So that's why I say it's really important to understand, you know, your placements, your signs, and all of that. You want to kind of correlate your rising sign with tarot. I use my rising sign to kind of show how everything in my life is playing out. So like long-term things, not necessarily like right off the bat, but it's like the things that are coming towards me. You have to know your sign, you know what I mean? And once you do that, it makes things it makes the signs make a little bit more sense to you. First of all, just learning those basic three, the sun, moon, and rising, it makes yourself a little bit more understandable. It's kind of like you can kind of compartmentalize like who you are. And so I think it's really beneficial for people of any age, any time, whatever, to really know your chart. And I think it's really, really interesting for people to see their chart and then really be able to correlate that with the things that they do, the paths that they take, their career. Like, you can learn so much with astrology. It's ridiculous that it's, you know, told that it's not true. Like, it's so true, it's ridiculous. It's literally like one of the realest things ever here. So yeah, I hope that you know, cleared up some misconceptions or any things that you wanted to know about your sun, moon, and rising sign, so that you can actually know what people are saying or what these tarot readers are saying when it's,
this is for sun, moon, and rising, whatever.
You're like, what the hell does that even mean? So I just kind of broke it down for you guys. I hope that it made a lot of sense. I'm Love from a Leo. If you would like to support me, or if you would like to see more videos, please subscribe so that I know that you are checking in. Please leave a like a comment, something. Just check in and say hey. Press the notification button so that you can actually be notified when I upload, because YouTube will not let you know otherwise, and then what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's free. Let's just do it. Right? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Love from a Leo. If I'm not your favorite Leo, then one day I will be. And until next time, I will see you very, very soon.